There are only two types of ammunition you need to be stockpiling for SHTF or the end of the world, friends. We're going to talk about these because one of them I probably am going to guess you probably don't have enough of. And we need to talk about this because this is a big oversight. I know this is going to be controversial. Let me know down in the conversation down below in the comment section if you completely disagree with me. And some of you are, because whenever you talk about ammunition, whenever you talk about boomsticks, people disagree on these kind of things. I'm going to put up some stuff that's going to just enrage some of you. But let's get into it. Welcome to the Popular Prepper. We're going to be talking about practical stuff here. So I'm going to be opening up kind of some of what I have here. Obviously, you're not going to see everything I have because first rule of prepping club is don't show what you got, right? But I'll give you a little bit of a taste here. Some kind of guidelines, some kind of thoughts I have on this kind of stuff because I don't think like everybody else does, and I have my own opinions. I've consumed enough prepping content to fill several lifetimes. So anyway, I've come to some conclusions on things. All right, so now, you've heard, like, you need to have, like, 5 different calibers. Right now in front of me, I have 5 calibers, basically, in front of me. But I said 2 kinds. 2 kinds. And that is important because there are 2 kinds of ammo that you really need to have. And to demonstrate this, we got some tool ammo. This is steel-cased 223, right? But you can fire it out of 5.56, of course. I got this kind of ammo, which is steel cased, and it's garbage, right? And then I got some green tips there. Now, you're going to basically say 5.56, 223. I mean, you're saying that you only need 5.56 and 223? That's all you need? That would be definitely a controversial statement if I'm going to say that. No, what I'm going to say is you need garbage ammunition for training, and you need high quality stuff. And that is the controversial thing I'm going to say. And I'm going to also say that you probably don't have enough garbage ammunition, right? Now, some of you out there don't have enough high quality stuff. Now, we won't get into the whole debate on whether green tips are really the best thing to be having, but green tips are my go-to round for when things get a little bit sideways. This is just kind of one of the setups I got here. As some of the preppers out there will say, you need to be thinking about this, that you are your own resupply. If you don't have someone coming to give you extra ammo, if you don't have someone coming to give you some support, who's going to be dropping off stuff, you need to be able to drop off your own stuff. Right? Now that can right there is one of the cans that I have for if I go somewhere. I'm not going to be just taking that, of course. You carry what you carry, but then being able to take a couple cans with you as well, or leave those cans in the car, or have them nearby so that you can go, hey, I need some more. And you can go grab a can or 2 and bring it over where you need it. And you can restuff all your pouches and just keep on going, right? You need to have high quality ammo that's it's ready to deploy. If it's sitting in cardboard boxes, that's not good. Now, training ammo, that can sit in cardboard boxes. The reason why I'm pulling out ammo is because my whole living room is let's just say it's a fire hazard right now because I'm repackaging all of my training stuff and my lower quality stuff into cans because I'm just thinking it's probably not good for it to be sitting in cardboard exposed to the weather and such like that in my house, but not outside or anything like that. But, you know, you got to protect when you put a bunch of money into this stuff, you gotta kind of take care of it. So my point is here, I recommend, like a lot of people out there, that you have multiple different calibers. You should have 22, and I think personally you should have a lot of 22, a lot of garbage 22. A lot of garbage 22 because 22 is going to be my go-to training round, right? Because it's easy to stock up lots and lots of 22. And if you think about, I'm going to need to train myself. Other people are going to need to train. And even people that aren't in my crew, if we have groups that are friendly and associated, you might want to help them train as well. So 22 is a cheap way to train, to get the basics and principles under people's belts of what to do with the boomstick, how to handle it, how to basics of understanding how to do targets and that kind of stuff. So you definitely need to have a whole bunch of 22, and that's super useful. You can use it for hunting a little bit. You can use it for something like that. But I have lots and lots of garbage 22. None of it, not all of it's this bad, but it's up that alley. Right now, I have thought recently that I might need to get some higher quality 22 loads for actual use, and there are some out there for that. Someone was just talking to me the other day about it, and yeah, it's a good point. Good point. I probably should, since I have some boomsticks that have 22, I should have some ammo that could make those things useful in a fight, right? Of course, you need to have your 223, 5.56. Right now, there's always been that conversation whether you should go with AK rounds or AR rounds, and the simple fact is the reason why people were saying use the AK rounds was because they were so cheap. But today, they're not cheap at all. They're not cheap. You're better off going with the 5.56, 223 type rounds because they're more available, at least here in the United States. They're cheaper. It's just, why would you go with something that's more expensive that doesn't work quite as well, right? Now, there are some uses for it, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. I know, throw me under the bus, friends. I'm a 9mm guy. I carry 9, and that's what everything I have is chambered in. I don't do 45, I don't do 40, I don't do anything other than 9 for pistol rounds, 9 and 22, of course, for training purposes and everything like that, right? And then I've gone down the road of, for heavy and further out, 308. So that's kind of my setup is 22, 9mm, 223 or 5.56, you know, garbage or good stuff, right? And then 308 for reaching out and touching somebody, right? And that's kind of my 4 go-to calibers. And then of course, you're a crazy person if you don't have some 12 gauge, right? So 12 gauge slugs, 12 gauge birdshot, lots of terrible ammo for training and for bird hunting and stuff like that, and then slugs for things. Now, I'm not a big 12 gauge guy, so honestly, I have 12 gauge almost more for funsies for some of them because you can get so having like an AK 12 gauge, you can get some cheap AK style 12 gauges out there, way cheaper than you can get an AK right now. So I wanted an AK style. I went out and got me an AK 12 gauge so I can just have the experience a little bit, right? You know, make sure you kind of understand how the platform works a bit. But in the end, it's not a full AK, but you get kind of the feel for half the price. Right, and yeah, the ammunition's a little more expensive because you're burning through 12 gauge. But so those are my 5 types of rounds. But really, like I said, I only have 2 real types, and that's something that you need to be thinking through too. Is you have your useful when you're going out to work. What cartridges are you going to use? Right. These are your green tips. These are your hollow points. These are your spicy stuff, right? And then you need to have your garbage stuff, your training stuff, and knowing that you need to have a lot more training. A lot more training. When you get into a fight, you are not going to be using more rounds in that fight than you used more in training. If you didn't do all that much training, friends, you're not going to last very long in that fight, probably. And lots and lots of training. Training under instruction. Training with actual purpose in the training, not just messing around. Messing around gets you bad habits. And a lot of people have a lot of bad habits, right? Because they train themselves. And they didn't really train themselves well. They didn't train themselves according to a plan or some kind of program. They train themselves by just goofing off. And I mean that in the most sincere and nice way I can. I mean, hey, it's fun. Going out back, going to a range, doing what you can wherever you want to, and just having a good time is great. It's great. And you can learn stuff for sure. And you get around other people, you're probably going to learn stuff around them. Someone's probably going to give you some tips here or there about different things. But when we talk about intentional training, doing stuff that isn't fun, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to need a lot of ammo for. Now, having the 22 conversion for your AR platform, that is huge. So that you can use an AR, put the 22 conversion in there, and you can then train on the AR platform, but using 22. Makes it a lot cheaper. And one of the reasons why I have lots and lots of 22. And the other nice thing about training ammo, especially if it's garbage, is that you will have misfires, which is actually a good thing. So people can practice unjamming their weapon and clearing their weapon and making it nice and safe and going right back into the fight. A lot of amateur people get really hung up on that. They're not ready. They're not good and efficient at clearing jams. Because, I mean, hey, if you're down at the range having some fun, throwing some lead down there, and it jams up, what do? A lot of times you stop for safety's sake and you start taking it slow. If you're not taking it slow and you're inexperienced, well, that's the first thing you should do is you should learn how to work a process that's safe and is not going to endanger anyone, right? You know what kind of jams and problems you really should stop with, and other things where it's like, oh, this happened, let me clear that out, and then get right back to it. In a fight, you need to get right back to it, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that you need to have, and garbage ammo is good for that, actually, because it will give you those natural jams and problems. Now, if you are going to use the conversion kit for 22 on an AR, I do recommend that you have a dedicated AR for that purpose if possible. Have a garbage AR that you put the conversion kit in because generally speaking, it's not going to damage the AR, but it does mess up the feed ramp and it does cause some other problems elsewhere. And so it becomes less optimized over the long haul for use on back to 5.56 and 2.23, right? So obviously you want to have your quality stuff 5.56. You want to have your quality stuff chambered in 5.56 and using hot loads like the green tip or just know what kind of ammo you're getting into. I'm not about to drop tons and tons of money into hollow point 5.56. I'm not going to do that, at least not right now. Green tips are good for me. People say that they can punch through stuff. I mean, they can punch through stuff better, but if I need to punch through something, I'm going to go get my AR-10 out and use some 308, okay? Because that's what that's much better at. Unless you can break the bank and go get a 50 cal, which I don't think most of us are on that playing field. If you are, kudos to you, awesome. That's really going to be great, but as long as you have enough ammo for it. But I can't afford that much ammo, and those things are just stupid expensive. They're awesome, but they're stupid expensive. So 308's as big as I get right now, and that's going to do a little bit of anti-material for me, but then also it's going to punch through some stuff and give some people some pause, even if they have kit on, right? So that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know down below. I know some of you guys are going to be like, you missed this one, or I can't believe you're a 9mm guy. I take into consideration availability, the fact that other people are more likely to have these rounds so that I can get more of these. Also costs for these rounds. Cost compared to capabilities, right? I want the capabilities, but I want the cheapest round in that capability because I want to have lots of it. You know, when you start talking about even 308, it starts getting pricey. If you want to get anything like the Beowulf, if you want to get Grendel, is there a Beowulf round? Or am I going crazy? Grendel is in Beowulf. Anyway, Grendel round, I very much seriously consider Grendel, but there are a number of really, Creedmoor looks great, but that stuff's just so expensive. And I just really couldn't justify it in the end. Having a dedicated platform for it. Also, in a crisis, are you going to be able to get that, you know, stuff to feed it? 308 is very ubiquitous still. I know it's becoming less so, and in the future, it may not be the best round to choose. But as of when I chose, it was the best round to go with for longer distance. And so I got an AR-10, and then I got a bolt action for reaching out a little further. So long distance, that's good if they're out beyond what I can reach with my 5.56, or if they're behind something a little bit, then there is the 308. But all right, friends, let me know what you guys think down below. Did I miss any cartridges? Do you think you have enough training stuff? Do you have a plan for throwing lots and lots of rounds downrange in an efficient manner for you, for the people that you need to train around you, the people that in the larger community that you have may need to train, and even other people outside your immediate network that you may want to help other groups or whatever train. So it's useful for hunting. It's useful for stuff, but in the end of the day, you know, if you need to get people prepared, you need to get people familiar with these types of boomsticks and such. Are you going to have enough for them to play around with and learn before they need to go out and use? And perhaps you may be like me thinking, I need some better stuff. Some at the top and the end, like whether it's in 22 or whether it's, you know, maybe I should get a few hollow points or something like that. Or maybe I should, I really don't have a great assortment of high-end 308 because it's pricey, right? And making sure that I have some stuff to fill some mags with that. Also, be ready to pre-deploy in your chest rig and then get some boxes like set up like that. It's just basically foam inside of a 50 cal can. Now, of course, you can fit more in if you don't have the foam, right? I think it looks nice, and I think they're just easy to kind of reach in and grab those out. Plus, if you just stack them in there, those boxes get rather heavy. I'd rather have a few lighter boxes that I can say, hey, go to the car, grab this box, bring it back to me. And a smaller person can do that, can bring out those 2 cans, as opposed to, you know, having a can that's so stinking heavy that you're going to need an adult male to pick it up to bring it out to you. So there's that consideration there too. You need to be thinking about how portable is it really. And when we're talking about a plastic housing and foam, that's not really much weight to it. So that's nice, but at the same time, you know, how much weight can I put in there before it starts to become easier to break and that kind of thing. So let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this was a useful conversation with you. Give me a thumbs up if it was. Thanks so much for joining us here at Poplar Prepper as we talk through some of these things. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of Poplar Prepper out.